This is Tara Lake. Thanks for listening to a special edition of a Philadelphia Literary Moment on WPPM LP 106.5 FM, which featured an interview with Dr. Utz McKnight, author of Francis E.W. Harper, A Call to Conscience. This recording features a couple of excerpts that didn't make it to air. Enjoy!
But let me say something different for us today. What are the choices we're supposed to make? I think we have to be very careful now that we see choices as very, very narrowly defined, and that we cut off parts of ourselves rather than acknowledge that sometimes some of the things that are superfluous are counterproductive, and yet are something that defines us as creative persons, as individuals. We're too easy. We're extremely worried, let's say, about the police. We're extremely worried about how we appear to other people. We're extremely worried about how many friends we have on Facebook and Instagram, like this. We're extremely worried about stuff like that. Now, that's okay. That's okay. But we also have to see that there's there has to be a choice to be creative, different, unique, and build with people who are not like us. Because one of the things about Iola Leroy is right after the description in the book is after slavery, right? And all of these different types of people, the diversity of the former slaves is right there in front of us. And, and there are some tensions in there. Many people, I think, feel that Iola Leroy is an elitist text because it's talking about a sort of black elite, the salon and all of this. I want to push back on us today. I think, with the standards of, literacy in our community, which have been around for a long time, for generations, right? With the care that we have, in spite of the common discourse like this, the care that we know the Black community has for education, with our panic, our desperation to have our children educated. I have 5 children, our desperation, right? With that comes an easy choice to lift up everyone, to not say, well, you don't have your PhD, you don't have your MFA. I mean, are you a doctor or a lawyer? I think we need to push back against the titles. Like I'm very happy with Harris being vice president. But you don't have to be a prosecutor to be important. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a senator to be important. I think that's the reason why I'm saying it this way is I think that's Harper's way of talking about it too. Harper is saying like, no. Don't, just because it's glittery and shiny, don't make that how we define ourselves, right? Instead, we need a politics that brings us together in ways that we have a certain type of respect for one another. And what we're doing now is we're asking, how should we absorb some lessons from her work? How is her work supposed to be important for us, such that we are like Francis Harper? It's really important that we don't see. I know I'm sitting in Alabama. I'm not in New York or Philadelphia. Like this, and so here I am from Alabama saying, look, I think we kind of need to create Harpers and Baldwins and Ellisons, et cetera. I know we have a lot of genius, but I think we have to figure out a way to not use Frederick Douglass or David Walker as stopgaps and say, hey, there's that person. And there's that person, and I can't be that way. What's a David Walker today? Do we need emancipated, strong, righteous, people writing? Yes, we need you. Like we need the poets, right? We need the writers. Of course, it's not sad that we need them, right? But, I like to think, I would like to think, what would Francis Harper make of today? She'd be like, we better get to work. But that's sad, right? That's what I want to say. And I would like to think that what we could do is we could produce the Harpers. We could listen a little more. We could read a little better. We could respect ourselves a little better. We could turn to the Black women who are poets and writers and not say, oh, I'm going to read a Black woman today. But instead say, no, 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 no. That's a flawed way of looking at things, right?
Thank you again for listening. This has been Tara Lake for a Philadelphia Poetry Moment.